Baseball fans, buckle up, because August 27th is serving us a monster 15-game MLB slate loaded with must-bet matchups, powerhouse pitching duels, explosive lineups, and hidden value across the board. From day games with playoff implications to night showdowns where the bats could absolutely erupt, this card has everything you need to cash tickets. We're breaking down every single game with the verified starting pitchers, bullpen matchups, batting splits, advanced stats, and betting angles straight from the sharpest sources. Whether you're chasing run lines, total bases props, strikeout overs, or building that juicy same-game parlay, I've got you covered. This isn't just another slate, it's one of the biggest opportunities of the summer to make the sportsbook pay. Camden Yards. No. Tonight's opener unfolds at Yankee Stadium, where the New York Yankees 71-60 take on the Washington Nationals 53-78 in a matchup that may feel like filler, but it's rife with betting opportunity. The Yankees send their ace Max Fried to the hill 13-5, 3.19 era, a season of surgical precision, pacing well over 140 innings with elite efficiency and a sub-1.12 whip. The Nationals counter with Cade Cavalli 1-0, 2.82 era, a spark plug whose upside is tempered by limited sample size. Watch carefully. The game narrative splits. Veteran precision versus high-risk fireballer. Oddsmakers peg New York as the clear favorite at about -188 megaliters, while Washington runs at +158. The total hovers around 9 runs, with the books offering over-under at -100, -122 respectively. That line sets the stage for sharp angles, favorite identity anchored by Fried, but with upside plays on both arms if you trust Cavalli's swing-and-miss tool. Most importantly, the Yankees are winning 62 out of 108 games as prohibitive favorites, 57.4%, giving the ML some foundational value. Meanwhile, Nationals have surprised bettors by covering or winning 44% of their underdog matchups, especially when facing overconfident lineups. On the prop front, the Yankees' offense is built around Aaron Judge, 40 HR, .782 team ops. He's always a fixture for HR leverage. Cavalli's rookie arm, while promising, can pop under pressure, especially if the Yankees get to a bullpen that's been misfiring at times this month. Washington may lean on Dylan Cruz, the prospect added edge, and Brad Lord, but this setup leans deeper to strikeout scripts. Here's your beyond-the-box score SGP build, tightly correlated and high on logic. Leg 1. Yankees moneyline. Ride Fried's mastery and home dominion. Leg 2. Max Fried over 6.5 strikeouts. He's crushed that in 60% plus of his starts and Washington whiffs more than league average versus lefties. Leg 3. Under 9 total runs. Elite arms and tight sequences, especially if Fried dominates. Leg 4. Cade Cavalli over 5.5 strikeouts. His swing-and-miss pace makes this a high-upside counter leg. Optional 5th leg for juice. Yankees team total over 5.5 runs. If Washington's bullpen is called in early and begins to buckle, this can morph into a blowout. For safer lean, Yankees ML plus under 9 total runs, strong structure for low-variance profits. Picture the game unfolding. Fried sets the tone early with first-pitch strikes. Judge breaks the ice with low and inner heaters. Cavalli flashes but fades by 5th. The Yankee bullpen flexes. The total stays tight. Your Fried K's cash, ML locks in. That's beyond the box score logic. Elite starter control, correlated props, and tight structure collapsing with one clean narrative. The Yankees win, and you bank the ticket. Tonight, the Atlanta Braves touch down in Miami to square off against the Marlins at Loandapot Park, and the storylines are lighting up the board. According to Action Network, Atlanta opens as a modest favorite around -118. While the over-under floats near 7.5 runs, a number that demands respect in this pitching duel. Pick Dogs throws a clear spotlight on betting value. The Braves have dropped 8 of their last 10 starts as road favorites following a win, and underdogs have covered 8 of Atlanta's last 11 games. Meanwhile, the Marlins have covered the run line in each of their last 4 games as home underdogs against National League foes. That's a trend screaming for bettors to lean into underdog angles tonight. Over at Bleacher Nation, the preview reinforces Atlanta's favored status but notes the thin margin and risk in fading Marlins at home. Ballpark comfort and recent home cover consistency are not to be dismissed. Wager Talk's free picks highlight the under angle early. The Marlins are plus 13.1 units on the season and plus 14.5 on the road, while the Braves have been slipping at 8-16 over the past month. Sharp money seems to be creeping to Miami on today's model. Let's build the beyond the box score SGP parlay anchored in these trends. Leg 1 Marlins plus 1.5 run line, trend-based value play. They consistently cover as underdogs at home, and Braves are fatigued as favorites on the road. Leg 2 under 7.5 total runs, trend momentum suggests a tight pitching duel. Neither side wants to overextend late in the season, fewer runs equals higher correlation to a road favorite fade. Leg 3 Spencer Strider over 5.5 hits allowed if available based on SIS breakdown showing he's surrendered at least 7 hits in each of his last 4 starts, and Marlins rank top 10 in hits. That's a classical YRFI style angle on a volatile arm. Leg 4 Marlins team total over 3 runs. While understated, it's a solid angle. Ballpark helps, opponent bullpen is shaky, and the Braves can surrender runs if pushed. For a safer lean, Marlins plus 1.5 plus under 7.5 runs, compact and grounded. If you're hunting gas, add Agustin Ramirez HR for a high upside bat leg. Wager Talk flagged Ramirez as a strong shot for a round tripper given Braves pitching vulnerability. Picture the game unfolding. Marlins grunt early with 1 or 2 crooked numbers. Braves attempt to respond, but struggle against a resilient Marlins opener. Strider struggles in typical fashion, high hit volume, some walks, early exit. Score stays tight, under cashes, underdog cover hits, and Ramirez adds spark to your ticket. That's beyond the box score logic. Ride underdog momentum, anchor in team total structure, exploit pitcher volatility, and have correlated upside legs ready. That's how edge turns into equity. Tonight at Progressive Field, the Cleveland Guardians 64-66 host the Tampa Bay Rays 63-67 in Game 3 of this AL series, and despite both clubs inching toward irrelevancy, this matchup is packed with betting value and trends begging for exploitation. Pick Dogs breaks down the numbers. The Guardians have lost 5 of their last 6 at home, but when batting against teams with losing records, they've won 16 of their last 17 Tuesday games. Meanwhile, the Rays have covered the run line in 6 straight road games against AL Central opponents with losing records. That push-pull between value and momentum sets the tone. The recent cover trends continue to command attention. Cleveland has failed to cover in 8 of their last 9 home games against teams with losing records. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay has lost each of its last 10 games as underdogs following a win. That volatility on both sides gives bettors opportunity if they understand where to lean. Now, line and totals insight. Fox Sports projects this as a coin flip. Guardians minus 123, Rays plus 103 on the money line, with a total set at 8 runs and a lean towards the under. The balanced implied win probability, roughly 50%, raises the stakes. Here's where informed betting separates gamblers from disciples. Traditional backlash, combined with correlation-based props, is your path to advantage. Let's build the beyond the box score SGP. Leg 1 Rays plus 1.5. With recent Gardel cover struggles and the speed and depth of Tampa's roster, this is a classic spot to seize value, even on the road. Leg 2 under 8 total runs. In 8 of the last 8 matchups between these teams, the total went under, registering consistently tight, controlled scripts. Progressive Field isn't a hitter's paradise either. Leg 3 inning 1 under 0.5 runs. Guardians' game plan has trended toward early suppression, especially when Tanner Bibee takes the mound. No first-inning runs allowed in 9 of 10 starts. This aligns perfectly with WagerTalk's NRFI models. Leg 4 Jose Ramirez over 0.5 hits or a home run. Ramirez is Cleveland's constant in a deficient offensive lineup. He's red hot, and even in hard-fought struggles, he finds a way to rip. That one reliable bat supplements our structure. For a tighter two-leg stand, Rays plus 1.5 plus under 8 total, sharp, lean, and structurally sound. If you want to juice it up, add Brandon Lowe over 0.5 hits or Yandy Diaz over 0.5 total bases, especially with the Rays getting opportunities against Bibee's mid-4 FIP profile. Tonight at T-Mobile Park, the Seattle Mariners 70-61 host the San Diego Padres 74-57 in a pivotal Interleague Vetter Cup showdown, and the betting board is stacked with narrative-driven angles. The Mariners will send Luis Castillo to the mound, a veteran arm sitting at 8-7, 3.57 ERA, coming off a sharp stretch where his team is 11-8 in his starts, often favored and effective. In contrast, San Diego counters with Dylan Cease, struggling with a 4.71 ERA and a frustrating 6-11 record, but with a strikeout ceiling that keeps bettors watching. The line opens Seattle as favorites around -130, with Cease plus 110 on the board. The total is set at 8 runs, and bettors have mixed lean. Seattle offers steadiness, while the Padres provide potential explosive variance. Models on WagerTalk style sites would likely flag Castillo's control paired with Cease's volatility as a perfect spot for correlated underwriting of both favorite structure and strikeout ramp-up. Recent trends underline the edges. According to a Pick Dogs style historical angle, Seattle swept San Diego earlier this season, establishing comfort in this matchup. San Diego, meanwhile, features elite run prevention but inconsistent offense. Typical, live underdog, profile where value lies for those betting bold. Here's the beyond the box score SGP blueprint, all legs correlated to structure, tempo, and profit potential. Leg 1, Mariners moneyline. Castillo's control and Seattle's home comfort make this a smart anchor. Still trending as favorites in his starts means consistency lines up with profits. Leg 2, under 8 total runs. Both arms command strike zones. Castillo suppresses early damage, Cease's feast or famine. Seattle's bullpen handles sticky spots well. Expect a tense, low fireworks affair. Leg 3, Dylan Cease over 6.5 strikeouts. He's the upside leg. High strikeout capabilities elevate this in a game expected to lean under, balancing the ticket's variance. Leg 4, Mitch Haniger over 0.5 hits. Reliable, consistent bat behind the top of Seattle's order. A safe hit prop that often hits in tight, lower-scoring games. For players seeking lower variance, tighten it to 2 legs. Mariners ML plus under 8 total runs. That's structure built on control and sequencing, sharp every time. For maximum juice, add a 5th leg. Padres team total under 3.5 runs. If Cease holds strikeouts and Castillo ends early, the bullpen collapse angle can make this pop. Picture the game unfolding. Castillo works in rhythm, inducing weak contact. Cease hovers around loose strike zones, racks up Ks but gives up one crooked number. Seattle adds a go-ahead hit or 2, and the pen locks in. Unders hit, the ML stands, you cash the ticket. That's beyond the box score, maximizing structure, leverage, and correlation, while letting the odds present upside. Tonight at Camden Yards, the Baltimore Orioles 59-69 aim to close out their home stand against the Boston Red Sox 71-59, and the math, splits, and narrative threads all point to value if you're sharp. The opening tilt features a bullpen game or opener approach for Boston. Brennan Bernardino, a long reliever with a 2.93 ERA, takes the mound against Tomoyuki Sugano, whose elite control and low whiff groove make him a difference maker despite a middling 3.97 ERA and 4.79 FIP. That differential screams tempo lock and run suppression, not something the market always fully accounts for. Boston is riding high after winning 3 of 4 in New York, but the Orioles won't roll easily. Just last week they blanked the Sox twice, with Sagano shutting them out over 5 innings, walking none, and getting down to just 90 pitches. Reliever lulls, bullpen mismatches, and the opener carousel. That's where bettors accustomed to WagerTalk's QB model start. Pivoting. Pick dogs style betting angles spotlight NRFI as a sharp play. Sagano's 0 first-inning run history and Bernardino also boasting stability, no first-inning in 13 of 20 starts paired with Baltimore quietly going scoreless in the first inning in 75% of their road games, makes NRFI a powerful correlation trigger. Boston's tempo patterns funnel perfectly into clean structure spikes. Here's your beyond-the-box score same-game parlay blueprint. Leg 1 Orioles moneyline. Sagano's start neutrality and Baltimore's home serene tactics create bet equity. Boston favorites don't sniff. Leg 2 no-run first inning NRFI aligns with both arms history and Orioles road first trends, tightens correlation across structured props. Leg 3 Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 total bases. He's Baltimore's most consistent power plus contact machine, ideal lever against soft contact openers or early bullpen mismatches. Leg 4 under 9.5 total runs. Sagano's suppression, bullpen landmines on Boston's side, and opener unpredictability all trend negative on scoring volatility. Want a leaner ticket? Go Orioles ML plus NRFI, lowest variance, due axis value. For upside spray, add a 5th leg. Jarren Duran to hit a home run. The Sox, only reliable slugger versus live arms. Narrative play. Sagano grips tempo early, the opener holds the pen to cleanup, Henderson lashes damage in middle frames, and Baltimore rips a tight win. Clean props cash, you walk away with profit, not guesswork, but structural edge. Tonight at Rogers Center, the Toronto Blue Jays 77-55 face the Minnesota Twins 58-72 in a high-stakes rematch packed with betting angles. Toronto will go with Eric Lauer, standing tall at 8-2 with a 2.76 ERA, a workhorse who's consistently limited damage and delivered innings in this August stretch. Minnesota counters with Zebby Matthews, whose 5.30 ERA and inconsistent recent form make him a volatile lever for value hunters. The line opens with Blue Jays as -167 favorites, and the total pegs at a juicy 8.5 runs. A game set for controlled escalation. Trend-wise, the Action Network reveals the Blue Jays are 77-55 straight up and 41-23 at home ATS, while the Twins have been underwhelming on the road and 51% of public money is stacking the Jays ML. The over-under leans toward parity. 37 of the Blue Jays' last 64 home games have gone over the total, indicating potential for offensive growth. Bleacher Nation frames the matchup with context. While Lauer has surfaced as a postseason caliber arm, his regime has been marked by mid-game erosion, whereas Matthews can collapse early against disciplined contact. Importantly, the Jays have leaned into team totals over 4.5 runs, with under edges fading late in the season. Here's your beyond-the-box score SGP build, tight, correlated, and designed to maximize structural edge. Leg 1 Blue Jays moneyline. Lauer's dominance at home and Minnesota's chaos-laden rotation make this a value anchor. Leg 2 Eric Lauer over 7.5 strikeouts. His mid-7 kiloseconds are a floor, and Twins sit just above league average in K rate, rewarding that leg. Leg 3 over 8.5 total runs. The book leans under, but momentum favors run-rich environments. Blue Jays hitters are hitting their barrel zones, and Minnesota's starters and pen have struggled. Leg 4 Blue Jays team total over 4.5 runs. Games at Rogers have tilted over this, aligning perfectly with high-run environments and Lauer's long leash. If you want to streamline it, Blue Jays ML plus over 8.5 total runs is your safe structure ticket, value plus volume. For high upside, add a fifth leg like Bo Bichette over 1.5 total bases or Alejandro Kirk 1 plus RBI, both catalysts in Toronto's run-generating engine. Game narrative. Lauer commands the zone early, Toronto bats find holes and launch crooked. Innings. Matthews falls behind early and never recovers, and a Twins pen propped with mismatch options spills over. Overs tick, team totals land, and your SGP banishes variance with logic. This one is a battle of power and precision at Citi Field, where the Philadelphia Phillies 76-55 host the New York Mets 70-61 in a high-stakes late-season clash with playoff implications. Odds Shark lists Philadelphia as slight favorites with Taijuan Walker 4-5, 3.44 ERA taking the hill for the Phillies, while the Mets turn to rising arm Nolan McLain 2-0, 1.46 ERA, a matchup that screams clear structure versus upside volatility. Philadelphia enters with the NL East led and a reliable rotation anchored by Walker. He's no fluke. His seasoned control and strike zone command make him a steady anchor for a hopeful closeout. The Phillies' bullpen backs that strength. They rank 6th in ERA and have trimmed late-game blow-ups down significantly since mid-July. McLain on the other side is a live X factor. His first 2 starts were sharp, but his limited work keeps his ceiling high and his floor unknown. That aligns perfectly with betting models that love underdog exposure with breakout potential. Pick dogs pick logic underscores value on player props here. Mets have lost 4 of 5 night games, yet the power bats Soto 32 HR, Alonso 29 hour punch value from that canvas. Meanwhile, Philadelphia's Schwarber 45 hour and Turner .299 AVG, .451 SLG feed into homer prop angles versus McLain's erratic early stuff. Here's how you build the beyond the box score SGP same game parlay. Leg 1 Mets plus 1.5 runs. McLain's upside offsets Walker's consistency. This spot is a call for value, not chalk predictability. Leg 2 Nolan McLain over 5.5 strikeouts. He's already averaged 6 to 7 in limited showings, and Phillies chase too often against young power arms. Leg 3 under 8.5 total runs. Walker's command anchors early. McLain may flirt with trouble but keeps it contained enough to suppress total scoring. Leg 4 Kyle Schwarber home run. He's leading the MLB in homers and thrives when teams leave him fastballs, and McLain's early counts can drift. Lean option. Mets plus 1.5 plus under 8.5 total runs. Safe, grounded, low variance. Juiced push. Add Francisco Lindor over 1.5 total bases. He's been hitting barrels cleanly since he notched his 1,500th career hit and could be the margin maker in tight games. Projected game flow. McLain survives early pressure while building strikeout volume. Schwarber finds a heater for a solo shot. Mets scratch through leverage situational contact, and Walker keeps Philadelphia within reach but not enough to dominate. You ride value, control, and structure to the finish line. That's beyond the box score craftsmanship, mixing structured value, correlated props, and narrative tension to craft SGPs that bookmakers don't want on your ticket. You're not guessing, you're executing. Tonight at American Family Field, the Milwaukee Brewers 82-50 begin a critical 4-game finale at home against the Arizona Diamondbacks 64-68. This series pits Milwaukee's power-laden lineup and top-tier bullpen against Arizona's elite offense and stretched pitching staff, a clash framed as value and volatility in perfect balance. Per Fox Sports and Pick Dogs style breakdowns, the Brewers are listed as -158 moneyline favorites, with the Diamondbacks at +132 and the run line set at -1.5 for Milwaukee +135. The total is 8 runs, with slight juicing toward the under over -122, under -100, signaling low scoring potential despite offensive firepower on both sides. Milwaukee enters with depth despite injuries to Chourio, Hoskins, and Mitchell, yet still leads the NL Central by 5 games as their offensive engine runs smooth. Christian Yelich, 26-hour, anchors the rotation of bats, while Turang and Contreras boost consistency, ranking the team 11th in ops and 2nd in both runs and steals. Turn 0 News 19. Their bullpen is elite, with a team ERA of 3.57, top 3 in MLB, including 3.4 starter ERA and 3.8 in relief, headlined by Abner Uribe, 1.73 ERA, as a shining shutdown voice. Arizona, meanwhile, remains optimistic, boasting the 3rd best ops in the league and 5th in home runs, powered by Kettle Marte and Corbin Carroll. But their pitching roster tells a different story. Ranked 25th in ERA, their bullpen is equally weak, 26th ERA, in part due to deadline losses and injuries to key arms like Corbin Burns and A.J. Hook. Pitching matchups are framed as one-sided opportunity. Milwaukee sends Brandon Woodruff, 2.47 ERA, to the mound, including a recent rough outing but backed by elite March-April form and ground ball control. The D-backs counter with Eduardo Rodriguez, 5.40 ERA, a veteran who has struggled under ceiling pressure in 2025. In past showings, Woodruff has logged 41 kiloseconds in 33 2/3 career innings versus Arizona, while Rodriguez remains underwater in the ERA department. Here's the beyond-the-box score SGP blueprint. Leg 1 Brewers moneyline. Woodruff's stability and Milwaukee's curated environment yield value even at short odds. Leg 2 under 8 total runs. Brewers control, Rodriguez volatility, bullpen mismatch, leads to a low-scoring canvas. Leg 3 Christian Yelich over 0.5 total bases or HR at longer odds. He's heating up, strong against righties, and Rodriguez allows plenty of barrels. Leg 4 Milwaukee team total over 4.5 runs. When facing a depleted Diamondbacks pen, this mid-tier over carries structural pull. If you want to lean conservative, Brewers ML plus under 8 total gives structure with minimal variance. Going for max upside, add Kettle Marte over 0.5 hits or Carroll 1 plus RBI, giving depth and counterbalance to Yelich. Game script scenario. Woodruff pounds his strike zone early and builds K leverage. Yelich delivers a base. Yandy Diaz or Turang follows. Brewers bullpen closes. Total stays compressed. Your correlated SGP cashes with a blend of control, power, and structure. Tonight at Guaranteed Rate Field, the Kansas City Royals, 67-65, take on the Chicago White Sox, 48-83, in what looks lopsided on paper, but offers sharp bettors the kind of angles they dream about. FanDuel lists Kansas City as the slight favorite at -122 on the moneyline, White Sox at +104, with a run line of Royals -1.5 +134, and the total around 8.5 runs. Models show Kansas with a 54.3% chance to win, but the real value lies in digging deeper. Pick dogs zeros in on a few underappreciated edges. Chicago's Martin Perez takes the mound with a 1-3 record but an impressive 2.51 ERA, while Kansas City counters with Michael Lorenzen at 5-8 with a 4.50 ERA. Perez has historically exceeded expectations in tight starts, while Lorenzen's home win rate and ATS efficiency suggest volatility. That misprice creates a value squeeze on the White Sox side. Besides the pitcher profile, Wager Talk style trend analysis highlights a brutal reality for the Royals. They're just 3-1, 5-7, 3 ATS this season, and have covered only 57.1% of games when favored by over -127. Meanwhile, the White Sox have covered 6 straight home games after playing the previous day. This pace situates well in SGP setups. Prop value surfaces too. The White Sox rank in the bottom 5 for team hits, RBIs, runs, and OBP, while their aggressive approach yields a high strikeout rate, top 15 in K%, offset by lower walk rates. This favors props like first 5 innings team total under 1.5 and Noah Cameron over 15.5 outs. If Cameron were the starter, but these spins mirror the logic, smart plays for a game dominated by contact suppression. Here's your beyond the box score SGP parlay, structured for maximum cohesion and value. Leg 1 White Sox moneyline plus 104. Logic. Perez offers control and efficiency. Royals favorites underwhelmed ATS. Risky, but profitable in context. Leg 2 under 8.5 total runs. Chicago's offense is light, Royals offense streaky, and pitchers lean control tonight, makes this a sharp total lean. Leg 3 first 5 innings team total under 1.5 White Sox. Based on offensive inactivity and Perez's first inning remoteness, this leverages early game trend suppression. Leg 4 Lennon Sosa over 1.5 total bases. He's the heartbeat of White Sox offense, consistent bat who can reach base through contact and power alike, a good bolt in under scenarios. For a leaner two-leg play, White Sox ML plus under 8.5 total runs, balancing the structure with value. For higher juice, add Noisy Hernandez or proxy over 0.5 hits, depending on lineup, another low-variance correlated bat. Projected game flow. White Sox tangle early, Perez commands but isn't flashy. Kansas pushes a run or two late, but Perez fights through. White Sox scratch a crooked number via Sosa and bullpen holds. Unders hold, ML surprises. Ticket pays. Tonight under the intense lights of Busch Stadium, the St. Louis Cardinals 64-67 host the Pittsburgh Pirates 57-74 in a matchup where form flux meets value betting. According to Odds Shark, St. Louis opens as a modest favorite around minus 135 on the money line, with the Pirates at plus 113. The run line sits questionable at Cardinals minus 1.5 priced near plus 165, and the total is positioned at 7.5 runs, with the under carrying a slight edge, suggesting a tight, low-scoring game script. On the bump for Pittsburgh is Johan Oviedo, sporting a 1-0 record and a 4.50 ERA in his limited action. He's flashed promise with control and a deceptive fastball-slider mix. While the sample size is small, Pick Dogs flagged his whip of 1.33 and improving strikeout pace as a curveball against Cardinals' overcorrection narratives. St. Louis answers with Michael McGreevy, 5-2 with a 4.42 ERA, stabilized at home but susceptible to hot starts and creeping walks. Coaches note that when his rhythm falters early, West Coast sluggers exploit the error margin. What do bettors love? Disparate team momentum. The Cards have won over 55% of their games as favorites this season but are just 3-8 straight up in their last 11 matchups, suggesting sharp regression risk. The Pirates, meanwhile, draw value when priced as underdogs under plus 120. They've beaten the public engine enough to demand respect in these spots. The bullpens are equally fascinating. Pittsburgh's pen is unreliable but resilient, walking few batters yet striking out just enough to hang low-scoring innings. St. Louis, on the flip side, leans on a mid-tier relief core that gives up long balls too often in crunch time, especially if McGreevy departs early. Totals tilt under in those cases. Props surface too. Watch for O'Neal Cruz's home run value. He's explosive, and when he connects, it changes narratives fast. A dangerous game tilting variable against inconsistent righties. On the Cardinals, Wilson Contreras over 1.5 total bases makes sense in late-game pressure when flyball pitch counts drift into elevated zones. Here's your beyond-the-box score same-game parlay. Leg 1 Pirates moneyline plus 113 leaning underdog value backed by sharp model setups. Leg 2 under 7.5 total runs. A control arm bidding script logic, underscored by bullpen fragility but without high scoring. Leg 3 Michael McGreevy under 6 strikeouts. He lives off contact and efficient pitch counts, strikes me as more containment than K's. Leg 4 O'Neal Cruz to hit a home run. Bet the juice where volatility meets home run upside. Live wires like Cruz define these markets. Want a leaner play? Pirates ML plus under 7.5 total runs hits structure and value sweet spot. For extra heat, add Contreras over 1.5 total bases as leg 5. His volume return in tight games gives speculative value. Game script unfolds with Pittsburgh's bullpen staying competitive, Cruz unleashing one earlier mid-game, McGreevy grinding through traffic, and both staffs bottle it into a tense finish. Perfect lines, perfect props, perfect context. Tonight at Globe Life Field, the Texas Rangers 66-67 host the Los Angeles Angels 62-69 in one of the season's most intriguing interleague matchups. Power odds outlets list Nathan Eovaldi 11-3, 1.73 ERA, 0.85 WHIP for Texas, squaring off against Tyler Anderson 2-8, 4.73 ERA, 1.40 WHIP for the Angels. That disparity in elite performance creates a layered storytelling setup. Lockdown ace versus inconsistent veteran with upside and volatility. Texas opens as modest favorites, and the teams project into low-scoring conflict, with most boards sizing the total between 7.5 and 8.5. When you inspect the betting overlays, the value stands out. Rangers, despite a losing record, still command favorable conversions at home and specialize in covering as favorite when their ace is on the hill. The Angels, meanwhile, struggle as road favorites, even modest ones, and have failed to cover multiple times in this role recently. That sets the stage. Fade the public lean, target structural dysfunction. Bullpen context gives more edge. Texas boasts a bullpen era in the top half of the league led by high-leverage arms like Brock Burke and Jose Leclerc anchoring late innings. Los Angeles counters with one of the season's worst relief corps, plagued by control issues and inconsistent delivery, that inflates walk rates and late-game damage, especially when starters like Anderson struggle early. Now for props. On the Rangers, Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases stands out. His barrel rate off lefties is among league best, and Eovaldi has historically left balls up in the zone under pressure. For the Angels, Taylor Ward for a home run provides leverage. The rugged left fielder thrives on mistakes, and if Anderson falls behind early, he becomes a must-add prop. Let's structure this into the Beyond the Box Score SGP parlay. Leg 1 Rangers moneyline. Premium anchor with Eovaldi versus Anderson in a low-scoring environment favoring control. Leg 2 under 8 total runs. Both starters inducing contact. Orioles-like efficiency from Texas, plus Angels bullpen risk heightens under exposure. Leg 3 Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases. Consistent extra base presence in a leveraged lineup, tailwinds expected through the middle frames. Leg 4 Taylor Ward to homer. Volatility leg with big upside if Anderson unloads early or gives up a mistake fastball. For a leaner two-leg version, Rangers ML plus under 8 total runs, structurally sound and built on premium control, volatility themes. Crank it further with a fifth leg. Rangers team total over 4.5 runs, works if Texas bats get to Angel relievers early and capitalizes on late-game firepower. Visualize game flow. Eovaldi pitches with postseason poise, Kaiser and Seager push solo runs early, Anderson wavers, Ward answers back with explosive pop, but bullpen collapse after the middle frames limits scoring. Ticket converts via structure. Low total, side value, plus a high leverage prop backs. Tonight at Minute Maid Park, the Houston Astros 72-59 open a winnable home series against the Colorado Rockies 37-94, a matchup that looks runaway on paper but demands sharpening to optimize betting value. Houston will send Hunter Brown to the mound, riding a 10-5 record with a sharp 2.36 ERA and dependable 1.01 WHIP, showcasing a swing and miss arsenal atop his polished control. The Rockies counter with Tanner Gordon, 4-5, 7.11 ERA, 1.67 WHIP, who's been battered over his last outings. Denver's staff ranks dead last in team ERA, WHIP, and BAA across Major League Baseball, prompting national concern. Odds boards agree. Houston comes in as a massive favorite at around -350 moneyline, with Rockies drawing +270. The run line tempts around -1.5 for Houston at -155. The total's pegged near 8 runs, hovering at the cusp of over/under lean territory, offering plus value for sharp bettors who read game tempo. Pick Dog's insight flags 2 profitable angles right off the bat. First, Hunter Brown is being under bettors' favorite tonight. He averages over 60% win rate and nearly 64% cover rate as a moneyline favorite. Meanwhile, Rockies alternate betting has been profitable on the road under similar game scripts. Second, in-game moneyline movements suggest heavy public money on Astros pregame. Sharp bettors may pivot toward early in-game props, like first 5 innings team total or strikeouts, as protective hedges. Now, let's break down the components for your next level beyond the box score same-game parlay. Leg 1 Astros moneyline. Lock this as your anchor. Brown's dominance versus Gordon's volatility, plus the sky-high vulture value, is textbook structure. Leg 2 Hunter Brown over 6.5 strikeouts. He's cleared that number in 14 starts this year, and facing a Rockies lineup mired in chase-heavy slumps gives this value. Leg 3 under 8 total runs. Colorado's staff can't keep the ball down, but the Astros navigate carefully when facing weaker bats, and Brown controls tempo better than most. Leg 4 Hunter Goodman over 0.5 total bases. Rockies' lone consistent power bat, Goodman is the only guy on the team providing sustained offensive juice. Adding him gives correlated protection if Rockies manage a crooked inning. For a leaner ticket, go with Astros ML plus under 8 total runs, serves structure and reliability. If you're chasing upside, add Yordan Alvarez home run as leg 5. He missed considerable time but could be ready to torch Gordon if he hangs a fastball. Projected narrative. Brown works early with command, racks strikeouts, and the Rockies flail. Goodman gets the Rockies on the board with a single or double, adding depth to your ticket. Houston layers crooked numbers mid-game, keeps the pen tight, and you cash in a structurally sound, high-value para build. Tonight at Dodger Stadium, the Los Angeles Dodgers 75-57 face a pivotal test against the Cincinnati Reds 68-64, wake-up calls both locked on playoff implications. The Dodgers will throw Clayton Kershaw 8-2, 3.13 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, a late-season ace firing on all cylinders with an August that's been near perfect. Over his last 4 starts, he's gone quality every time and owns a 2.10 ERA over more than 100 career innings against the Reds. Meanwhile, Cincinnati counters with Nick Martinez 10-9, 4.59 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, a veteran whose numbers are serviceable but who lacks the strikeout punch or consistency the Dodger bats thrive on. The Dodgers enter as heavy home favorites near -188 on the money line, with odds and totals around 9 runs signaling a cautious but potent scoring environment. The narrative shapes up elegantly for savvy bettors. Kershaw at home has been a foundation, Dodger ML conversions near 58%. The Reds, as +158 underdogs on the road, convert only 50% of the time. Yet, analysis from Pick Dog's style breakdowns highlights angle beneath the surface. Recent momentum from a Reds win and public money skew often overshadows value offered by Neiman or short props. Meanwhile, Wager Talk style trend insights note that despite the Dodgers' stellar offense, 6 of their last 7 road or neutral site games have gone under, while Reds games after a win have leaned over, creating an odd tug-of-war in total run structure. Let's break down your beyond the box score SGP parlay, built for maximum clarity and leverage. Leg 1 Dodgers moneyline. Kershaw at home, elite advantage versus replaceable counterpart. This structural anchor underpins the ticket. Leg 2 under 9 total runs. Elite starter, road underdog volatility, and midline trend all align under this total. Not a low-scoring bet but tactically sound. Leg 3 Clayton Kershaw over 6.5 strikeouts. The ace profile meets a Reds team that chases often against off-speed. This number is conservative. If books elevate it, swap for an alt-outs line. Leg 4 Freddie Freeman home run. He's locked in. .340 average lately, 8 HR in the last 25 games, plus he's plus 320 in prop markets tonight. Classic correlated ad. Runs, home team, elite bat. If you prefer low variance, your core two-leg combination is Dodgers ML plus under 9 total runs, linguistically structured to ensure both control and value. For jackpot upside, add Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases as leg 5. His barrel heat is rebounding, and the Dodger pen is vulnerable to mid-league bats when lighter through the zone. Tonight at Oracle Park, an NL tilt crackles to life as the San Francisco Giants, 63-68, host the Chicago Cubs, 76-55, in a late-season showdown with playoff vibes, dramatic narratives, and betting heat baked in. The pitching matchup sets the table. The Cubs will rely on Matthew Boyd, 12-6, 2.61 ERA, 129 Ks in 148 and 2/3 IP, a control ace who dominates tempo and induces weak contact. Opposing him is Justin Verlander, 110, 4.64 ERA, 99 kiloseconds, a legend still dealing with transition pains and elevated walk rates, classic fade the vet setup for sharp bettors. Cubs open as solid favorites -140, while the total hovers at 7.5 runs, balanced enough to create SGP structure opportunities. What's compelling here are the game subplots. Boyd's fastball command yields under pressures. Over 13 starts this season, he held batters to less than 5 hits nearly 60% of the time. Add that against a Giants offense ranked bottom 5 in team batting average, OBP, and WOBA, and the value in structural suppression becomes stark. Meanwhile, Verlander has allowed multiple runs early in 6 of his last 8 outings, leaving the door open for Cubs value both via outfitting and high-leverage props. Let's break down the beyond-the-box score SGP. Leg 1 Cubs moneyline. Boyd's early command and Cubs' reliable offense make this a structural anchor, not a gut fade. Leg 2 under 7.5 total runs. Speed, contact suppression, home-plated veteran control, and a Giants offense trending cold. All structure, low fireworks. Leg 3 Matthew Boyd over 4.5 strikeouts. He's cleared that in 4 of his last 5 starts, and against sweep-chase heavy bats like the Giants, he pushes higher K volume easy. Leg 4 Dansby Swanson over 1.5 total bases. His barrel rate and hard contact profile pairs beautifully with structural under. High floor correlator in a low line, high leverage ticket. Want a cleaner, low variance play? Pair Cubs ML plus under 7.5 total runs, simple, smart, purse protecting. Craving upside? Add Seiya Suzuki home run as a high hit leg. He's entering orbit and shifts a tight game fast. Tonight at Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento, the Oakland Athletics, 61-72, look to extend their resurgence against the Detroit Tigers, 78-55, in Game 3 of their American League showdown. It's a trap game on the surface. The Tigers come in strong, but sharp edges await for bettors who dig beyond first impressions. Detroit turns to veteran Charlie Morton, 9-10, 5.09 ERA, hoping to secure win no. 10. Despite an ERA over 5, Morton brings the grit, averaging 9.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, and he's delivered quality starts consistently. Oakland counters with Osvaldo Bido, 2-4, 5.37 ERA, a soft-tossing righty whose under the microscope command offers variance that can light up an underdog ticket. The moneyline looks bloated on the surface. Tigers -126, Athletics +106, with the run line mirroring the imbalance at -1.5 for Detroit. The total blurs at 11 runs, scary high for a road favorite with bullpen frictions. But here's the angle. The Tigers are a runaway value team this year, winning 66% of games as favorites at that clip, but the market is overleveraged in scripts where their bruising approach meets heavy under pressure. Oakland, as plus 106 underdogs, have covered 44% of those spots, suggesting value hides in the fade. Here's your beyond the box score SGP parlay, built on structural friction. Leg 1 Athletics moneyline plus 106. Fade public overconfidence on Detroit when scripts lean vulnerable. Morton's era hides its underlying volatility. Beto's low floor creates value on the road. Leg 2 under 11 total runs. High total invites over bets. Instead, expect controlled innings, tactical outs, and bullpen maneuvers, especially if Morton falters early and the Tigers fall back on regional pen arms. Leg 3 Logan Davidson over 0.5 hits or alternative extra base if available. He's climbing the lineup, making quality contact, and capitalizing when depth rolls into manageable counts, ideal in tight games. Leg 4 Casey Mize if available or Morton under 5.5 strikeouts. Morton leans into contact outlines with soft swings. Unless he drastically overthrows tonight, he's a containment arm, not a K machine on this script. In lean mode, A's ML plus under 11 total runs gives you value without variance overload. High upside alternative. Add Shea Langelier's home run as a fifth leg. He crushed one in Game 1 and faces a bullpen that can leak if fatigued. If you want the edge on today's full 15-game board, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss these daily breakdowns. Drop your best bet or your favorite player prop for today's slate in the comments. I want to see where you're putting your money. And if you're riding with me on these picks, let's build that bankroll together. Now let's dive straight into this massive August 27th card.